What is up guys, it is Lely and we are back with some more GranTurismo Sport online action. As you can see, we are racing in the Audi TT Cup. That is not the competition that we're racing in, that is actually the name of this car. We are racing around Interlagos, which is also known as the Brazilian GP, my favourite track by a long shot. And this is my very first time in pole position at the start of a race. I've never actually led a race before from the start. And this was really early on in my, I say online career, but you know what I mean, like early days of getting GranTurismo. So I have a lack of experience from the start and I was just a bag of nerves. And you'll notice straight away that my lack of experience kicks in before we even get to the first turn. Because normally when I start further off, like you know in 5th or 6th, I approach this first turn with more speed. So I'll brake, you know, what would be an acceptable time here is fine braking here when you start 5th or 6th. But when you first, you have to brake later, and the guy in second obviously has a bit more experience than me. He ends up going first, and rightfully so, because I left that door open for him. At the time I was like, oh my god, I can't believe what I've done. I realised straight away, you can see there I'm getting shunted from behind by the car in third. It kind of didn't help him at all actually, because it pushed me along and my car was probably quicker than his in the straight anyway. So we hang on into second through that way, and I was lucky to hang on into second the way I actually took that first turn. But as I was saying guys, I was a bag of nerves all the way through, and you can see again at the end of the first lap, not just this one lap but this, you know, turn coming into it, I'm awful. It's just getting to me. Look at this, it's like I'm waiting for someone to cross the road. How slow was that? And at the time, obviously like I said, this was early on in my online days, I didn't realize how fast that Renault Megane was. So at the time I was thinking he's gaining on me because of how bad my last corner was, but in reality that Renault Megane is just so quick in the straight that, you know, it was always going to cause problems for me. Although I think he was too far back to do what he did to me. He should have conceded this. He should never have actually done that there. Look, going into the first corner he was never a threat, but he ends up shunting me off that first turn, ends up taking position like that. I'm thinking surely even if he gets a penalty it's not enough. He has to give back that position, because he can end up going further ahead and then taking a penalty, or he could slow me down from the guy who's in first, which is essentially what he actually does. So they need to sort that out in GranTurismo. There I got way too close to him. I didn't want to make contact with him. I could have made contact with him and stayed closer to him and stuff like that, but I just wanted a good clean race. So I ended up kind of getting too close and losing ground on him there. And again lads, look at this. You can just see at the end of that, it was, like I said lads, it wasn't just that first lap I was a bag of nerves. I was a bag of nerves all the way through. I won't say all the way through, probably after about lap 4 or 5 I managed to calm down. Now keep an eye on this Italian, because this happens quite a few times in this race where we're going into the end of the lap and he's behind me by quite some distance, or like I say closer than he is now. And this is what annoys me, because what people, I don't know why they do this, but I'm quite comfortably in front of him and I don't brake too early. I don't think I brake too early, and there's no way this guy should be doing this. What annoys me about this is the fact that yeah, he might gain, although he doesn't this time. He might gain, but then what he doesn't realise is he's actually losing out to the guys who's first and second by battling with me in such a stupid way. And the thing is, it annoys me more because later on in the race where he's closer to me, he ends up actually sort of realising that it's better to stay behind me, and then we both gain up on this Renault Megane. So this time, right now, he's still hot-headed or being very aggressive, and he does a nice little clever switch on me there. I thought he was on the right, then he went on the left and he just had the better run on me, so he ends up getting third position there. I thought the gap was opening up, but he kind of closed that door in my face very quickly, so I yielded, stayed in position, and I wanted to make sure I have a good sort of little right and left section here. So I was like really close behind him, just trying to, you know, show him a bit of aggression as well. So I thought if I can get a chance to show a little bit of aggression, I'll do it to him, because this guy was being very aggressive with me there and he left the door wide open for me there. So a little bit of contact, no more than what he probably would have made with me had it been the role reversal. So this time I was praying. I was like, Lely, you got a car right up your arse, you have to take this corner as fast as you can. And again, that's not as fast as I can, but it was fast enough, because I think my car is possibly quicker than his on a straight, like just, you know, if you line them up side by side. So I thought if I have a decent, you know, getaway, I stand a chance of actually surviving this first corner. And then look at this time he's closer to me than he was last time. So I was fearing another one where, you know, he might come in and smash him from behind. But I thought I'm not going to change what I do. I'm going to do the same thing as before. And this time lads, he follows me beautifully. And look at this, look how much we both gain on this run up Magan, which is why it kind of mystifies me to why he didn't do this the first time. Look, we're gaining on this car, both of us gaining on this car in front, which is, I'm still now thinking, why would you do that? Maybe he just kind of cleared his head and decided that, you know, he probably should have done that before. So now we go into lap 5, and this is where the tyres start to become, I won't say an issue, but they become different in the sense that you can't attack every corner like you do at the start. They have less grip, so it affects your traction coming out of corners, but it also actually comes to the point where you can't get the same purchase for turning in, so you kind of have to back off on the corners a bit more than you would before. So now you can see I'm getting all over the back of this driver, and I didn't really want to attack him just yet, because unless he makes a big mistake in this sector, like in the next left or right, it's really tight and just hard to overtake. So I didn't want to slow him down, because I thought if I slow him down, then we're kind of losing out onto the leader. And look at that, we're at 4 seconds away from the leader, and because this guy's feeling all sorts of pressure from me, by the time we get to the end of the lap, I think we're like 5 seconds behind or something. And that was the last thing I actually wanted. I wasn't trying to put pressure on this guy, I just wanted him to, like, you know, just stay in pace and just, you know, get as close as we can to the leader and then attack a bit later on. Or if he made a mistake, I'd have taken him there. But, you know, look, we're losing massive ground to him, and not just that, but we also lost, you know, some ground on the car behind us, who's now a lot closer than he ever was before. And this here, lads, you can see both cars, the car in front and the car behind, do not make any compensation for the lack of grip. They both take it as if it's lap 1 or 2, and look at that, both of them going flying off. Not huge flying off, but enough to cost them positions, which gives me an easy second place. And look at that, just because they probably did the right, you know, they didn't go overly aggressive, they just didn't make up for the lack of grip that they've lost through, you know, racing for 5 or 6 laps. So now we go into lap 7, which is where I got gifted the race. So remember before where that German kept taking me out? Well, this time I think a fellow Brit had enough of these Germans, and you can see, I know I don't like it, I'm not really proud of this win, but to be fair, I think I was quicker than this car in front. And, you know, like I was telling you, the German effed me up last time. Well, I think the Brit had enough and decided, I think he's been taken out by too many Germans, and decided to take him out. I do get in front, and this German does start driving again. I think he starts driving, and when he is driving properly, we're only like a second ahead. But then by the end of the race, I think I'm like 3 or 4 seconds ahead, and then I throw away a second. So I was quicker than this guy. It just wasn't a nice way to end up winning this race. But yeah, guys, I hope you did, you know, enjoy this video, because we are coming to the end now. If you did enjoy this video, guys, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe. I will be setting up some lobbies for you guys that want to race with me. Just let me know if you want to race in the comment section. And until then, guys, peace!